Today I got 5 criticisms that I get through the comments of my YouTube channel. These are the most common ones. I keep track of them. Not really, but the vast majority of the comments are exceptionally supportive and add to a good discussion. They can be challenging, but these are 5 things people just say, hey, you got it wrong, you're mistaken. So I thought I would share them with you today. I do respond to these comments, but I thought this may be a better format to hit more people and maybe help you just a little bit. So let's jump in to number 1. The bucket strategy destroys wealth. Most of you know that I use a bucket approach to my money. I have bucket 1 money and bucket 2 money. Bucket 1 money is money that I need in the next 10 years from my investments. This is net of Social Security, net of any pension, net of deferred comp, net of rental income, things like that. What do you need for your investments? I have 10 years of that in fixed assets like bonds, like CDs, like money market funds, like treasuries. Okay. So people say that destroys wealth. Why don't you just use an approach like 80-20 equities to fixed, 60-40, 50-50, whatever you choose, and then just rebalance annually? Well, buckets allow me to have great peace of mind, especially in my early years of retirement. The first thing that people do when the market goes down 20, 25%, everybody does this, is they look at their fixed assets and say, how many years safe do I have? Welcome to the bucket approach. That's what you're doing with buckets, okay? When the market goes down, hey, I'm sitting there saying I got 9.5 years left. Historically, looking at bear markets going down and the recovery time to come back up, 10 years will cover the vast majority of those. Not all of them, but the vast majority of them. So that's why I use the bucket approach. This is not a video on all the ins and outs of buckets, but buckets, you typically have a certain number of years safe. And then if the stock market is at a high, you replenish bucket 1. Okay, so say after 6 months, you spend that 10 years down and you now have 9.5 years. You look at the market at that time, look at your equity investments and say, yes, they are near new highs, like say within 5% of new highs. I'm going to take some money from bucket 2, my growth engine, and put it in bucket 1 to give me another 10 years. 10 years of dry powder for when things go wrong, okay? Some people call that timing the market. Okay. It's what I do. It gives me great peace of mind. Sorry to hit my microphone. I'm trying a new microphone out today. Let me know what you think. So, yes, it's not the way to maximize gains, to have that much money in fixed. Okay, that's not the game in retirement. You're not trying to maximize returns like you've been doing for the last 35, 40 years. You're trying to get the best return you can with a lot of safety in there so you can enjoy your retirement. Don't try to win the game when you already won. Stop playing. Okay, there you go. Bucket strategy. Number 2, this time is different. This is timely. I got so many negative comments about videos I made around tariffs and the drop in the stock market. And I was intentionally not trying to be political, but I shared other examples in the past where presidents or governing bodies did things that upset the stock market. And with the test of time, the stock market recovered, always did. Not saying it always will, but it always has. And look where we are after, it's a month and a half since the tariffs were introduced. We're near new highs again. And there's a lot of optimism looking forward by all the analysts. Okay, so this time is different. Got a lot of comments on that one. Number 3, Joe, a lot of your videos seem like infomercials. What this comment is referring to is there are a couple affiliate relationships I have with companies that have made a dramatic difference in people's lives. Okay. I get 2-3 requests a day to sponsor companies. I don't. Okay. I do the ones that are impactful and make a difference. As an example, I get 10 comments a day, no exaggeration, a day from people that follow this simple formula. They're DIY retirement planners. They've got everything in spreadsheets. They feel pretty good about it. Okay. Then they buy Boldin Software. It's $14 a month after a 2 free week trial. If you use my link, 2 free weeks. You buy Boldin, put all your information in Boldin. It's an independent source calculating your probability of success in partnership with your Excel documents. It builds confidence. Okay. Second step is get a second set of eyes on your plan. Okay. That's very powerful. Very powerful. These people are all following this recipe. They contact the folks at Donaldson Capital Management. And for $300, they'll have an outside expert, certified financial planner, look at your plan and identify gaps and weaknesses. People that follow this recipe are retiring earlier than they thought was possible. I got a note the other day, somebody retired 4 years earlier just because they followed those simple steps. So what am I supposed to do when I have information, due to my vantage point, that will help people retire earlier, retire with confidence? I share it. Okay, that's what I do. Number 4, Joe, retirement is easy for you because you have money. Folks, I'm showing a process. Okay, I give my experience, how I'm making decisions around Social Security, where my money's invested, using the bucket strategy, getting external eyes, having a retirement group that helps me. Everyone is different. That is true. Everyone is different. But don't use comparison as an excuse not to take the jump into retirement. Oh, Jane has $2 million. Bill has $1.5 million. They're lucky. They're different. I only have $950,000. I only have $500,000 with a pension. I'm telling you, everybody's different. Learn a nugget from everybody, maybe one nugget from me. I'm not saying follow this as a complete, let's say, recipe for everyone. It's not. Now, the recipe that I mentioned earlier on, buying Boldin and getting an external set of eyes, that's been universal. That's been universal. So number 4 was, it's easy because you have money. Everybody's in a different situation. Don't use that as an excuse, okay? Now, the 5th criticism is boomers have it easy. Boomers referring to baby boomers. I am really the last of the baby boomers, born in 1964. And, I noticed a lot of changes between when I was in my 20s and 30s and 40s to people nowadays. I saved first. I paid myself first. Before the bills came, I paid myself. I was saving 9% day one when I started working after college at 22 years old. Started saving first. I worked a lot of overtime. I worked 2 weekends out of 4 every month for about 10 years. 10 years, okay? That was to help save for a down payment on a house. That was to help, just get ahead of some debt. But working that overtime, because I needed the money. I needed to get ahead of the curve. A lot of times, one of the, a specific criticism is, hey, how hard it is to buy a house. And they'll quote the average price of a house in the United States is $400,000. And the average income is $70,000. There's no way people can afford a house now. Well, don't buy the average house. My first house was the worst house. It was about 2 times my salary, and it was a pile of junk. Okay. A lot of sweat equity. Most people, according to the realtor that was showing us the house, wouldn't even walk through the threshold of the front door because they couldn't stand the smell. They didn't like the decorations, shag carpeting. They had dogs. It was a horrible house. My wife and I sweat a lot, put an equity in that house, sold it and made a profit. Okay? Sold it and made a profit. I do think there were some advantages the boomers had. You know, pensions is one, but 401k matches, Roth IRAs. I did not have opportunity to buy a Roth IRA or Roth 401k, sorry, through my company. Wasn't available. Okay. Those tools are available to you now. 401k matches. There's all kinds of things where I believe give a different advantage than boomers had. But saving has to be one that you do in sacrifice. I didn't have $1,000 phone in my pocket when I was 22. I didn't have a new car. I didn't have air conditioning in my car for 5 years. Until I was 27, I had a stick shift, black vinyl seat automobile, standard, with no air conditioning and roll down windows. Okay? The clothes I bought, a lot of them were hand-me-downs. Okay, well, not hand-me-downs, they were secondhand store. I just didn't get into my clothes, didn't get into my car, did sweat equity on a home. Not trying to be a lecture here, but one of the issues I find with younger folks in their 20s and 30s, they want to jump from being 22 years old to a $400,000 house, a $500,000 house, and a brand new car. Boomers didn't make that jump. What you're seeing is the end result of 30, 40 hard years, and you want to skip that and get instant gratification. Not saying everybody, I'm saying the people in the comments, okay? Don't let that put you in a victim mindset. Okay? Don't let that put you in a victim mindset. I think there's tremendous opportunities today. And for everybody. For everybody. Those are my 5 things that I argue with people in the comments. People say I'm wrong. I've got opinions on it, as you can imagine. It's Joe out.